Welcome to Same Work, Different Lens, the podcast where two professionals from the same workplace bring different generations to the same conversation.
We don't always see things the same way, but that's the point. We talk real life, real work, and real community issues.
From family and wellness to leadership, money, and systems that shape our lives.
We're bridging the gap between what was, what is, and what needs to change.
Let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Same Work, Different Lens. I'm your host, Kamisha.
And I'm Cassandra.
And we're so glad you're joining us today.
Summer is finally here, Kamisha.
It is.
For many children and their families, summer means vacation, outdoor fun, camps, swimming, and spending more time with family and friends.
Absolutely. And, while the summer is filled with opportunities for learning and fun, it's also important to remember safety should remain a number one priority.
Right. So today's episode is all about youth education and summer safety. Today we will discuss ways families can keep children safe, engaged, and learning throughout the entire summer months.
Okay. It's only fitting to start off with why summer safety matters, right?
Okay. All right. Let's get
When
into
school
it.
is out, Cassandra, children have more than enough freedom and less time and structure in their daily routines. Would you agree?
I agree. Today's time, back in my time, not so much because our summer was a little different than today's summer.
How so?
Okay, because when we were out for the summer, our mom gave us many chores. That was the time for her to get her house together. We washed windows and did all those wonderful things, clean rugs and countless of laundry and all those wonderful things that we didn't have the freedom like children have today.
Yeah. I think part of what has changed, what summer fun means or what summer break means to the kids is exposure and access to, hate to say it, social media.
Okay, it's there.
Yeah. But summer safety isn't about just limiting fun. It's about creating safe environments where children can enjoy themselves while parents or caregivers can still have a peace of mind.
Right. And so we need to remember that freedom is wonderful, but it can also increase the risk of accidents and injuries and unsafe situations if children aren't properly supervised or prepared, right?
You're right. So let's talk a little bit about water safety.
Okay, let's get into it.
I think water safety is one of our biggest concerns during the summer because who don't want to get wet and cool off when it's 90 plus degrees, right?
You're right about that.
I kind of feel like whether families are visiting pools, whether you're going to the lake, rivers, beaches, water safety should always come first. One of the things that I want to point out is we should never leave children unattended around water.
Okay, I totally agree with that. But again, I have to go back to the way I was raised. I remember going my parents and taking us on trips and we visited the pools, but they gave that responsibility to the lifesavers. They didn't sit around the pool with us. They were somewhere else sitting up under the tree while we were at the pool having fun, and the lifeguard was the overseers.
Yeah, I can see that too. I just know from my experience here lately, when you go to places like the lake or a river and even some beaches, you rarely see lifeguards these
This
days,
is true. This is
right?
true.
So it would be important to designate a water watcher in that sense. And it still allows the adults to be able to have their, peace of mind and sit around and have adult talk while the kids are playing, but you want to make sure you have somebody who's watching the kids who are in the water so we
This is
don't
true.
have accidents.
Can I point out that someone should be someone who can swim and
Absolutely.
know how to save someone out of the water?
Absolutely. Because how devastating is it to see a child or anyone struggling in the water and then to save them can't even swim yourself, and then it's two people at risk.
Especially me. Level point is the water for pools and the waters in the lakes are totally different because you have the undercurrent, and so you have to be wary of those type of things, right?
That's right. I think that's why it's important to teach children basic swimming skills as early safety. Like when you're around certain water,
Mm,
like not running around the pool, how to
yeah.
tell if the water is deep or shallow, things like
Yes,
that.
yeah. Instead of what was told to us as we was growing up in mine for my generation, listen, you don't get into the water until after your food has settled in your stomach.
You're
Did you
gonna
get that?
wait 30 minutes.
Yeah. Did you get that?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
That's
Uh,
the only water safety we got.
yeah. Just two more things. I think
Okay.
it's also important to properly use fitted life jackets
Mm,
when boating or participating in any kind of water sports, right?
okay.
And avoid distractions. Nowadays, one of the major distractions is the phone, right?
Yes.
And no, you wouldn't think somebody would be out in water with their phone, but they
But
do.
yeah. And not only the people in the water, the people who's supposed to be watching the
And
little ones in the water.
supervising the
Right.
children,
They're on their
right,
phones to kill time, right?
right.
And then life jackets. What is that? We didn't get life jackets when we went to the park, water park. I didn't get that. I don't
Mhm.
even know. I think the first time I put on a life jacket was when I was on a cruise and they was teaching us how to live in case something happened. Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the good things though from then versus then
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
all of the amusement parks or water parks that I've been to
Mm-hmm.
have life jackets.
Okay. All
And
right.
I'll say this for safety. I
Okay.
just want everyone to remember drowning can happen quickly and quietly.
Absolutely.
Consistent supervision is one of the most effective ways to prevent a tragedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very important, especially for the younger ones who love to think that they can swim, but they can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that makes people want to go and get into that water
Is
is
what?
the heat.
Mm,
Whew, and
come on.
y'all know Georgia heat is no joke, right?
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about heat and sun safety.
Okay. Yeah. Back in my time, we didn't have AC. So the heat was a little different for me and my growing up experiences. So all we knew was outside. We had to go outside from the time we got up, and once you got the house clean and everything, they sent you outside. I don't care how hot it was, you just had to deal with it, period. And so plenty of my time was spent on the front porch begging for a breeze. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how it is. Nowadays, it's not so much.
But you know what, Cassandra, when y'all got too hot and that sun was beaming too much, what did y'all find?
We found some shade.
Okay.
Okay, come on now.
Let's talk about that, right? Like summer temperatures can become very dangerous,
Yes.
especially for young children. Those
Mm.
children we're talking about need to be outside playing, right?
Right.
But while we're going to send them outside playing, we also need to encourage them to drink water regularly. Now, I know,
Right.
Cassandra, probably back in your time, y'all couldn't come and knock on no door
But
and
let
say
me
you needed something to
no,
drink because it was a water hose outside.
that's it. Let's get to it. That water hose was essential. Listen, I don't care what they say. Oh, the germs and all that. I don't care. We was not thinking about that. We was trying to stay cool, and that was our way of hydrating ourselves. That water hose was essential. So listen, don't knock it.
I could be wrong, but I feel like the water was way different back then
It is now.
because I
It's
barely
true.
want to fill my ice machine up with the water
Right.
that comes out of a hose or the faucet in the kitchen nowadays.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. We also want to limit outdoor activity during peak heat hours.
You know I'm laughing.
Yeah. So it said that peak heat hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., right?
Mhm, mhm.
But just being honest, it was probably about those hours that I was sent outside to go and play.
Okay, so you understand. Yeah.
I
Coming
totally do.
inside for what? We come inside to use the bathroom, and that's sometimes because sometimes you have to go around the house. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's keep it. We're real here. We're real
So
here.
so if you're gonna do like back in the day and
Okay.
send them outside during that time, let's just make sure that we apply some sunscreen with
What?
SPF 30 or higher. Yes,
Apply
Cassandra,
what?
sunscreen.
To who? Oh,
these babies to protect their
oh,
skin.
today's time. Okay,
Yes,
because
yes,
do
yes,
you
yes.
think my parents went out and bought some what?
Some sunscreen.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well,
Mm-mm.
how do you feel about maybe making sure they have on a hat, sunglasses, and light fitting clothes?
Yes, I'm all about that now that I know. But back then, I'm just telling you the differences. Back then, we didn't have no sunscreen. My mama didn't care if I had a hat on my head. Girl, get outside. Get out my house. Go play.
Yeah. Yeah. One more thing about the heat, and then we're gonna move on, right?
Okay.
Never, ever, ever, ever leave your children or
Oh my
pets
God.
in a
That's right.
parked vehicle.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
temperature in a vehicle
Mm,
can rise so fast, and it can get
absolutely.
so much hotter in a vehicle than it is outside. You would not believe
Right.
the small amount of time it would cause for a tragedy
Short
to
period of time.
happen.
So yes, I don't care how quick you think it is. It's just anything can happen in that short period of time. So why take that chance to put your loved one in danger? And it's
Right.
so unnecessary.
Even with the windows cracked, y'all, it's
Oh
still
crap!
hot
It's
in there.
hot.
It is.
It's hot. And you
It's
know how I feel when you unlock your car and get ready to sit in there. It's been sitting out all day. Do you scared to touch anything, even the steering wheel, the
and I
seat?
have leather seats,
Oh
so,
my goodness. You have to be
I
careful
know the
because you can get
struggle.
burned. You can get burned. Yes,
Yes.
you can. So be careful with the little ones. Their skin is very sensitive. So yeah, please be careful.
Okay, so something I feel like we need to touch on that
Mhm.
probably wasn't an issue,
Okay.
back during your summer breaks, right?
Mhm.
Online safety.
Mm.
Online safety. Now, I can admit, during
Mhm.
the summer times, I'm a little bit more lenient with the phone, with the iPad, and
Right.
things like that
Yeah.
because we're letting them go to sleep a little later, and
And because of the
ki
times that we're living in, it makes a
yeah,
difference. Yeah. I
yeah.
didn't have a phone. I didn't have an iPad. We had a TV and it went off at a certain time at night. So, that flag, the stop flying, it was time to shut that off. So we didn't have that.
About like when that street light come on, you better be in the yard.
Okay. I live.
Mhm. But,
Street, well, let me check, excuse me. We didn't have a street light. When your mama called, you better come around. That's it.
okay, so when I was coming up,
Mhm.
street lights was the telltale.
Yeah, yeah. I lived in the country. We didn't have a street light.
So, yeah, with that being said, though, many children are spending extra time online during the
Mhm.
summer months,
This is
right?
true. This is
So
true.
just a few, tips
Mhm.
and things to keep in mind. Still try to set healthy screen time limits, right?
Right.
Like I said, I allow my kids to
You
be on
do.
there a little bit more, but
Mm.
I still, find time, "Hey, put the phones down. Let's talk. Let's watch a movie.
Yeah.
Let's bake some cookies. Let's do something that doesn't require, you to have that screen in your face and we can have some social interaction."
I agree. But I don't want to knock online screen time because there are great apps for learning. And so it does has its place in the child's life. So it's in some instances it's okay to me
Yeah,
for them
I
to
mean,
have that time.
absolutely, I'm saying it's okay, and
Mm,
maybe there's something to incorporate, right? I mean, but
right.
1 hour has to be educational, and when you're done with
Absolutely. I
that,
love
you
it.
get your hour to do whatever it is you wanna
Love
do,
it. Yeah.
and not saying it has to be an hour, just whatever
Yeah.
you as the
Right.
parent see fit for your child.
It's your call as a parent. You're right.
Right. We also wanna monitor online games and social media
Mm,
activity. I
mm,
know, you again, with it being so much freedom,
mhm.
um, TikTok challenges,
Oh, yeah.
Roblox, and all of the other things out there that I do not know about because I don't play games.
Especially the online games, because my understanding, you can play with people that you don't even know, and so
Right.
that will be a major concern for me.
Right. Just make sure
Mhm.
you're looking into those things. Looking at those past chats of whoever they're
Yes.
playing with,
Yeah.
if they're chatting together and things of that
And do
nature.
some pop-up visits. Look at over their shoulder to see what they're doing and, monitor that as well. I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I've heard stories about the different apps online or whatever, and
Mhm.
oh, don't let your kids do this, don't let your kids do
Mhm.
that. And I really feel like you're only able to protect your children from so much.
That's true. That's
But
true.
it's also our responsibility to teach our children not to share personal information.
Mhm.
Like some of the stuff you're not gonna be able to keep them away from, but at least prepare them for when they come in contact
Absolutely.
with that type
Plant
of
those seeds. Let them
situation.
know that this could happen, and if you're ever faced with this situation, this is what you should do.
Right.
Yes.
And and encourage open communication about anything
Mhm.
that makes them uncomfortable. So if they
Mhm.
somebody is contacting them saying some weird stuff or just things that they feel uncomfortable about, have that open communication with your
Right.
children so they'll feel comfortable to talk to you about those things.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that because it brought to mind cyberbullying and those online predators that they can face. So that's something that you need to make sure your child is aware of. That talk to them about the different signs and things that could be said to them to get them to coerce them into falling into that trap that so many young people fall into.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm. And I I said a little bit about it earlier,
Mhm.
but let's talk about some ways parents can balance technology. It may sound bad, but quid pro quo. You
Mhm.
give me an hour of educational time, I give you an
Mhm.
hour of free time to get on your game.
This is true.
You give
And
me an hour outside, you can come in and get on your tablet for an hour.
so you saying it's okay to bargain with your child?
You say
Mm,
bargain, I say
mm,
compromise. Hey,
okay, potato,
tomato,
potato.
tomato, tomato. Yes.
Okay.
Because summer learning matters. Some lags and things
Mm,
like that, but it's also important to keep young minds active
mm,
because also often we hear these stories having this long summer break and not really exercising their brain. And then when they go back to school in August, they have forgotten everything.
right.
And it takes at least 2 to 3 months for the teachers to get them back to where they
To
need to
catch
be to
up.
learn new things.
Right. So it's our jobs as parents and loved ones every day,
That
daily. And I know parents say, "Well, I'm tired. I've been yes, but listen, you got to learn how to free stuff that's going on in the community, like
I
visit
love
your library.
free.
Yeah, who doesn't? Like visiting your local library, that's free. Okay, go in there. Together, go up and down the aisles and choose a book that both of you will enjoy reading to each other. That type of thing. And maybe at the end, if we read so many books by the end of a certain period of time, then it might be a little incentive, a little, something for you at the end of that time period.
Yeah.
And what about the camps? There are a lot of great education camps going on. Check in with them. And also, I like put this little plug in for APC. If you want to know about what's going on in the community, we are always posting different events that's going on, activities that's going on in the community, and those are generally free. So make sure you like and follow so you can keep abreast of what's going on in the community. So there's a lot of different things. And I know there are big mega museums and parks, but we do have some there on a smaller scale. But this is your time to open up your child's world and give them something that they don't normally get the chance to do, like visiting the museums and stuff like that.
Oh, yes. It's
Mm-hmm.
so many museums and things like that that's
Mm-hmm.
free around the area or low cost,
Mm-hmm.
where you can take your kids and just teach them something,
Okay.
right?
Okay. And I got one more, and this is really great. And a lot of people really need to get into it. Journaling.
Yes,
I know you big on that,
I
Kamisha.
am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, journaling, it not only allows one to put their feelings down on paper, get it
Mm-hmm.
out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it also taps into that creative
Right.
piece, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
want your kids to stay active. You want their mind to stay for them to exercise their brains over the summer. And when children are engaged in positive learning experiences,
Mm-hmm.
they're often less likely to engage in risky behaviors, which is at an
Absolutely.
all-time high for our teenagers around our
Absolutely.
community.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Okay, so let's keep it moving. This is a a triggering topic that's coming up for me: the bicycle and outdoor play. Yeah, I had a very traumatic experience on the bicycle,
Did
and
you?
it's still with me to this day.
Is
Yeah.
that why?
That's why I didn't want to. That's why
Hey.
one day as a staff, I'm like, no bicycle, because I had a very hard fall off of my old regular bicycle. Now, don't knock my parents; they gave me what they can give me, and I appreciate that. But if I knew that day when I was riding that my seat would come off, all scraped up, then I could barely walk. Yeah, I don't think I would have ever gotten on the bicycle that day. So it was very traumatic.
So, question: did you learn how to ride?
I did know how to ride, but all the roads wasn't necessarily paved and all that good stuff. So we had some bumpy roads and stuff to travel on as children.
Okay.
So yeah, and then the neighborhood kids wasn't always at night. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
Mopeds,
all
four-wheelers,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
just remember to always wear a proper fitted helmet.
Right.
Use reflective gear when needed.
Okay.
Follow traffic rules. Stay aware of your surroundings and choose.
Yeah, all that's quite interesting because I didn't get any of that growing up. We was just out there.
Yeah.
we was just out there. Really, we didn't have to. Helmet. What's a helmet? Who's gonna get us a helmet? You was out there on your own. Listen, you hit your head. You hit your head. We don't. And listen, nowadays I know a child need to have a helmet on, but back then you got to know we didn't have all that protective gear and if you find yourself outside at night, reflective, none of that applied to us, none of it. But guess what? I'm still here today, right?
You are, but it absolutely applies now. So please follow those tips, right?
Yes, I agree.
Summer also means children spending times at the park, camps, community events, sometimes with neighbors, friends and things of that nature. So another thing we want to make sure of is teaching your children stranger danger and personal awareness.
Right.
It's important that your children know their full name, their address, and some contact information.
Right.
Discuss with your children what a trusted adult, who those people are, right? So they know in the event of an emergency. Practice what to do if they become separated from their families.
So very important.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of things going on this summer, community events and things like that. And it's very easy, to get away from the group that you came with. So if something like that happens, you want to have your children prepared before it even happens, right?
Absolutely.
And encourage your children to trust their instincts when something feels wrong.
Right.
I feel like too often, kids express feelings about certain things, and not all, but some adults will shoo away whatever they're saying like it's not a big deal.
Right.
But if a kid is coming to you and telling 9 times out of 10, something is wrong.
Something is definitely wrong. But another tidbit I like to put out, I know during the summertime, when especially with having family reunions and everybody get the same looking t-shirts and they put the names on the back. Don't put the child's name on their shirt because that's an easy access for a stranger to call out their name like they're very familiar with the child and for the child to be more trusting because, hey, they know my name, not thinking that my name is on my shirt. This is how they know who I am. So be very careful of little tidbits like that.
That's a good point, Cassandra. And we're going to move on, but I just want to say this too. About creating fear. We don't want the kids to be right, but we want to make sure that we've prepared them for any type of situation we could have thought of that may have happened, so they know things to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And can I go back? People they can trust.
Yeah.
They need to know. They need to know. And I would like to say it's totally different back when I was raised,
Mhm.
because back then the village truly did raise the child, and it's a little different in today's society. It's hard to know who to trust. So it's not like it was back when I was being raised, when the whole neighborhood watched out for everyone. We don't get that so much today.
Yeah, that's true. Um, so
Okay.
one last thing want to hit on,
Okay.
something near and dear to me,
Yes, it
is
is.
mental health and emotional wellness during the summer.
Love this. Yes.
Summer safety includes emotional safety too, right?
Right. That's right.
With it being the summer and the kids being out of school, not engaged, there are a lot of parents who still have to go to a 9 to 5,
That's right.
and the kids are left at home alone for various reasons, right?
Mhm.
But we want to maintain routines when possible, encourage healthy friendships, spend quality time together as a family. That's important.
Very.
Even if you're working a 9 to 5, if it's that hour that y'all sit down at the table and eat dinner together, or you just giving them a few minutes after you get home and decompress to tell you about their day, just so you can check
Right.
in. That's very
Right.
important.
The time before they go to sleep.
Yes.
And that might be a great time to read them a little story. You guys take that time to bond over the story that you chose at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best thing we can do is simply ask our children, "How are you doing today?"
Love that.
Yeah.
How many parents do that? Do you do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
I don't always get a response,
Okay,
but I
right, but
ask.
at least you ask. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's very important for you to bring up mental health, because generally when we think about young people and children, we don't necessarily think about their mental health, but we should. It's always tied in with the adults have maybe having issues, but that's not necessarily true. Little people are little us. And so they have some of the same issues and struggles that we may have. Theirs just on maybe on a smaller scale. That's all.
That's right.
Mhm.
Well, you know what, Cassandra?
Mhm.
After all of this discussion we've had today about summer safety,
Mhm.
families don't have to do this alone, right?
Right. Come on.
There are many organizations dedicated to helping children stay safe and engaged during
Mhm.
the
Right.
summer break.
Right.
Some of our national resources: American Red Cross
Mhm.
gives swimming lessons, water safety education,
Okay.
and emergency preparedness resources. The YMCA have summer camps, youth programs. They also give swimming lessons and recreational activities. The Boys and Girls Club of Augusta,
Mm.
youth development programs, summer learning opportunities, and mentoring. And then some local ideas.
Okay, so we have a lot of those. What about the public libraries, the parks and recreation departments, community centers, the school summer programs? That's a good one.
Mhm.
Local camps and youth organizations. And okay, now APC PAT program will be having our annual kids adventure for the week of July the 13th through the 15th. And you can check out those flyers on our Facebook page for Augusta Partnership for Children. We would love to have you join in on all of the free. What did I say?
Free.
Free, absolutely free fun.
Yeah. And there's two more things we want to shout out. So
Okay.
on Monday, July the 6th,
Yes.
Augusta Partnership for Children will be having a formula and diaper drive from 11 to 3 at the Bernie Ward Community Center.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah. And Saturday, July the 11th, there's going to be a community block party from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's on East Boundary Street. It's no cost. There will be resources, programs, and plenty of opportunities.
Yes, and APC will be there. We will have a table. So please stop by to say hello.
Yeah. So as we wrap up today's conversation, remember that safety is a time for exploring,
Yes.
growth, and making memories.
By focusing on safety, learning, and meaningful family connections, we can help our children have a summer that's not only fun, but also healthy and successful.
Thank you for joining us today for our episode on youth education and summer safety.
And Commissioner, until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and enjoy your summer.
Have
Have
a
a wonderful and safe summer.
summer.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Same Work, Different Lens.
Two professionals, two generations, one evolving community.